What's up? Poker Maniac TFP here, back to you with another video. We have 2 tournaments of gameplay right now. If you don't mind, if you could subscribe, hit that subscribe button, share and comment, like, what I'm saying. Let's get these channels that I'm about to explain to 1,000 subscribers, man. I need y'all's help. I just want to tell you a little bit about me, and my journey and stuff like that. So just want to let you know, first off, I was a military child that was in the military. I was around a bunch of different types of cultures and people. I lived overseas a couple times, and it was a pretty cool experience. And I'm glad to say that I've got to experience a little bit of that. Not very much, but a little bit of it, and I appreciate it. Like when I was in 3rd grade, I lived in California. I was born in Maine, right? And in California, I moved there when I was like 2 or 3. I was in kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd grade. Okay, when I was in California. During that time, Tupac was big, real big, and I was like, man, I love the way, Tupac makes music, and it inspires people, and it motivates people, and moves people, it touches people. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I always want to do that when I get older. You know what I'm saying? Like making songs and just like create something and please other people. You understand? And help them. So I took piano lessons a little bit. I want to say when I was in 3rd grade. I think I got my first keyboard when I was in the 3rd grade, when we moved to Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? All my people's from Georgia, so we moved to Louisiana, and I got my first keyboard, and I took piano lessons here and there. Nothing serious. I didn't go too far. I already knew the notes a little bit, but I took piano lessons and probably stayed in it for about like 2 years, and then kind of quit. And I stayed in Louisiana for like 2 years. So like for my 3rd and 4th grade year, I stayed in Louisiana. My 5th and 6th grade year, I moved overseas. And they didn't have any McDonald's, they didn't have no Burger King. It was kind of hell, but it was a cool experience at the same time. Cows. It was an island, a little island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean called the Azores, and there's like cows roaming around everywhere. I will say this. They had the best milk over there. Like their milk was amazing. It was so amazing that we took a trip back to the States one time, and I was craving this milk, so I go back, but the milk was spoiled, and I sit there and pour the milk in the glass, and you can see the lumps coming out, and I'm like, man, I think I tasted it. I was like, man, what the hell is wrong with me? Anyway, I was like craving that milk so bad. It was so good, but the pizza smelled like dog food though. But anyway, no, I'm not hating on them. It was a cool experience. I got to go to Paris and Germany and visit the Eiffel Tower, and go to Germany, Ramstein, I think it was, and some other place. That was cool. So my 5th and 6th grade was spent over there, and I was still liking music. Tupac was still big, and Snoop Dogg had just released one of his I think the Dogfather came out then. Yeah, man, I was like, man, I gotta do this, and I first got my Sega Saturn when I was overseas, and it ended up getting stolen, I think, when we moved back. Either when we moved there or when we moved back. I think it's when we moved there it got stolen. But we got another one, and I had video games, and NBA Live 97 was out, 96, 97, and I had that. And when I was creating my players, I was like, yeah, man, I want to be in the NBA. I want to create myself. I was creating myself, really, and just like really believing that I could be in the NBA. You feel me? So when I created my player, of course I made him 99 overall, because you could do that back then. You can just jack up everybody's stats. And I was really believing it, Played video games. I loved video games as a kid. I had the Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn. I didn't get a PlayStation, but I got a Nintendo 64, PS2, and a PS3 and Xbox 360, the whole 9. I got all of them, Xbox One, PS4. But anyway, that was later on. But I was a real game head. You know, I like to play Mario Party and 007 and all those cool games that came out back then. Like Knights for the Sega Saturn was awesome. Yeah, man. So I stayed in the Azores for about 2 years, and came back to the States. Came back to Louisiana, and moved in the same house actually. And what happened? Oh yeah, hung out with the same friends and everything. But I was, like I said, I was always the middleman. I've always been the middleman, because like some of my friends didn't hang out with the other friends, the group of friends that I hung out with, because I was interested in all of that. I was interested in cars, I was interested in like basketball, I was interested in sports, and I was interested in bowling. You know what I'm saying? So I hung out with a lot of people. You understand? And some of my friends didn't get along and didn't understand why I was hanging out with these people over here. I was in the band as well, so like crazy. So I moved back, and me and my friend, he was my next door neighbor. We got real big into basketball and 2K, and 1 was coming out then, and we were real big into basketball. And I was like, man, yeah, bro, like me and you, I think his number was gonna be 6 and my number was gonna be 5 or something like that. He's like, yeah, we're gonna be in the NBA, bro. And I was really believing that stuff. Once again, 2K was out, NBA Live 99 and all those. We would create our players, and we'd really think that we'd be in the NBA one day. We'd go to the base gym and play at the gym. And his shot was cold. Like, I give him that, but I could shake people. I just couldn't shoot back then. But I knew how to get by him and lay the ball up. I give him that. He could shoot really well. So you might see a lot of basketball videos by me. But yeah, after that, somehow my friend that was real big in basketball with me, he ended up getting off into drugs and stuff like that, and it pissed me off, because I don't know if y'all remember that game Street Hoops for the PS2. That was like one of the coolest games that I played. That was the best like and 1 type game, street ball game out there. It's better than that other game. I can't remember what it's called right now, but Street Hoops was the best. He ended up borrowing my game. He was like, can I borrow your game? And my Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance game. And he ended up selling it for weed and drugs. And I was like, I didn't know that whenever I let him borrow it. And my neon light that they don't even sell anymore for my car. He ended up selling those 3 items, and I didn't get it back. And I didn't know what he did with it, but he sold it for drugs, man. Like, he got bad off, and when people are addicted, they do anything. It kind of pissed me off, and we just parted ways, and he ended up going somewhere off to some place to get help, I was like, damn, bro. So me still having dedication and determination, I still was playing basketball and playing video games, and whenever I play video games, man, I really actually think it's me in the game. Like whenever the ball goes in, I know it sounds crazy, but like when I see it go in, I picture myself shooting the ball and it going in. So like, it's a simulation. A lot of people learn how to fly airplanes with a simulation. A lot of people learn how to drive with simulation. And I actually learned how to drive because I had driving games when I was a kid. So I already knew how to drive before I even got behind the wheel. I just needed to practice, moving one foot to the brakes and the gas. That's it. Everything else was a breeze. So don't call me crazy, but everything is a simulation. And how realistic games are, there's no reason for people to have a terrible shot. But anyway, yeah, like I was dedicated to that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But then it was like music and sports were kind of interfering with each other. I didn't know which way I wanted to go, because when I got into high school, I did try out for the freshman team. I remember the coach was looking at me like, man, he got some good defensive stance. He's all around good player. I made the team, but I was 6th man, because you got those other people out there that was hustling harder than me, because I was just going back and forth between a lot of stuff back then, which I am still doing now. But other kids that were on the team, they were actually just like focused on sports, period, So I was 6th man. I did a good job. I don't know, I probably averaged like 4 or 5 points a game, man, but I never really got playtime. But it was cool. We ended up going undefeated my freshman year. And this is what pissed me off, because during our photo shoot for the basketball team, I was in the band, and we had like a band competition during our photo shoot. So I didn't get a chance to take a picture with the basketball team, and it pissed me off. So I was like, man, that sucks. But anyway, but I think my name is still in the team. I have to look to find my freshman yearbook. But so after that year ended, and then the next year I tried, so one of the kids on the team was like, man, once you already make the team, you ain't got to try out again. So I ended up believing that stupid ass stuff, man. Excuse my language, but it pissed me off. And after trials were over, I go up to coach and I'm like, Coach, am I still on the team? And he was like, well, did you try out? And I'm like, no. He just kind of gave me a look like, well, you're asked out. And I'm like, well, fuck. Like, I just walked off. I'm like, well, damn, man. Like, that's messed up. And I didn't even try out again after that. I just stuck with band. Ended up dating some girl. And then that didn't work out. And I dated another girl for 3 years until college. I graduated high school. And, but at this time during my freshman year, I got real big into music. Like, I wanted to record and rap and write my own songs. And my dad had introduced me to a music program called Acid, like Sony Acid. It was 3.0 at the time. And that was my very first program that I got. And I started mixing down songs, like remixing songs, like putting Busta Rhymes with Ludacris. Like, I think it was like Break Your Neck and Lit Me Down From Your Head to Your Toes. That song, I mashed them together and made them like play overlap each other with the same speed, because you can slow songs down and speed them up. It's a pretty cool remix for, a 15-year-old to do. I was doing that stuff back then, I'm like way before my time, like literally. Like, I learned how to do all that stuff, but there was just really no market for me that I knew of to promote myself, So I made some songs back then, and my freshman year, my friend Greg, he was like my big brother on the block. He was like, bro, they have a beat making software in the school library. It's called Fruity Loops. So I go download it, Fruity Loops 3, which is now FL Studio, and they're up to 12 now. I think they're probably working on 13, but Fruity Loops 3 is the first one that I worked on. I got a copy of it, put it on my computer at the house, and I just started making beats, you know what I'm saying? And like the stuff kind of came natural. Like, at first I was like, what the hell? But then, like, after the first or second day, I was like, okay, this is how this goes, four beats in a measure. I already knew that. I knew, all that stuff because of band. So it's like, yeah, this is pretty cool. So I started making my own instrumentals. And then with that Sony Acid program, my friend Alex, like maybe a month or two later, or maybe a year later, he was like, bro, you can record yourself on Acid to make it sound like a real track, instead of just voicing over and recording an instrumental and yourself into a microphone. You can actually lay a track down and then record your voice over it in Acid. I was like, man, that's cool. I didn't even know you could do that. And so after I found out about that, I started making more music, just freestyles and just having fun. Just hearing myself on a track was cool to me back then. I didn't know what I was saying. I wasn't good, but like even now to this day, I just write on what I feel. You know what I'm saying? People might not, relate to it, but try to do the best that I can, because I produce my own stuff. I make my own beats and I write my own songs, So, yeah, that's what I was doing back then. I made a couple songs for my ex back then. And, she was liking them and she was showing them to her friends. She's like, look what my boyfriend did, blah, 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 It was cool. Then, after I learned how to do all that by myself, remind you, I didn't take any classes. Nobody showed me how to do anything. It was all trial and error. And, this is before YouTube, where you can just Google stuff and tutorials. And I think even YouTube probably may have been around, but, not as big. And I didn't even know about it. Because literally, Louisiana is probably last to know about anything. Like, promise you that. But, let's see. So after I learned how to do all that, I graduate high school. Then I go to college, right? And I'm in the band in college. I chose the music route, and I wish I would have chosen sports. And like, it was one of those crossroads where I had to choose. But I chose band because, they give you a scholarship to go to school. So as I go to college, I get in my dorm, and my roommate hasn't showed up. My roommate doesn't show up for another 2 weeks. And then when he finally shows up, he's like, hey man, you know, what's up, man? My name is Whoopty Whoop. You know, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was like, man, I sing. He told me he sings, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, because I make beats. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's dope. So I was like, man, we finna do something. We got to collab. I know how to record on my laptop, because I had a laptop for college and stuff. I put the program on my laptop. I was like, I know how to do this, and we can make songs. And I'm thinking, you know, we can pass them around school and get famous like that, you know? So, you know, a month or two goes by, and I end up making him a beat, and he writes to it. He puts a song that he wrote to it, and we end up recording it. But as time goes on, man, we recorded that song for like maybe two months, bro. Like, real talk. Like, every time he would record the first verse, he'd be like, nah. And then we recorded again. He was like, no, I don't like it. We recorded again. No, I don't like it. Recorded again. No, I don't like it. Recorded again. This is before I knew you could like chop and, you know, record line by line and stuff. Well, I didn't want to be lazy. I mean, I was lazy. I didn't want to have to do all that work. I just wanted him to sing it like one time all the way through, you know, expecting it to be perfect and stuff. And he was just like, nah, I don't like it. 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 I'm like, bro, come on, man. I'm trying to like put together this stuff. We need to put together a song so we can promote it and we can get hot, man. Pass the stuff around so we can start doing shows and stuff like that, man. Like, you never know. Or like somebody could be like, you know what, y'all equipment's okay, but we got better equipment over here. Come on, record this over here, you know, type stuff. But I guess I don't know what was keeping him. He just wasn't working and focused. So that guy he ended up being from another city, like right next to mine, and he introduced me to this other dude that raps. And that other dude, we became cool, and he was like, bro, you make beats, let me see what you got. I showed him a couple of my beats. He was like, yeah, that's what's up, man. And he got the rapper guy actually got my parents to buy me a nice keyboard so we can make beats and make music and, you know, do what we had to do. And that was cool. And the rapper dude actually introduced me to my first studio microphone. I've never seen a studio microphone before, man. I was like, yeah, I got all that stuff, man. My computer is all that. Like, nah, like, you need special cords, you need special equipment to use this. I didn't know anything about. And he got me situated with that. We ended up making a mixtape. And we kind of worked. And we passed it around campus a little bit, but the quality wasn't there yet. So we ended up, you know, making a project, but it wasn't that great back then. The songs were great, but the quality because we were still learning, and I was still learning, the quality wasn't there all the way. But we kept at it. And the other guy, the singer guy, he was like, you know what? I'm not feeling this stuff. I'm finna move to Vegas. Cause the rapper guy, he was, you know, trying to be head honcho, and he was like, do this and this and that my way, this way, do this. And he would never let the other guy come in with the real studio microphone to come and record his songs, because he always wanted to record his songs. So they kind of fell off like that, and he moved to Vegas. Meanwhile, I met this other rapper guy. The dude was cold, bro. I'm talking about bars. I'm talking about, bro, like, I don't understand why he ain't become famous, man. Like, this is 2005, man. I met this dude, bro. Like, he ended up being, what was crazy, man, he ended up living right next door to my dorm my second year, and second year in college. And as I was walking from my dorm to the lunchroom or the cafeteria, the dude literally was walking behind me and talking on the phone, but something told me, like, I've had these experiences like 3 or 4 or 5 times in my life where I will see somebody, I don't know who they are, but I feel like I'm gonna be attached, like, not be attached, but like be connected with them in some way, shape, or form. Like, they stick out of the crowd, like they just stand out, like, hey, that guy right there or that girl right there is gonna be a part of your life in some way, somehow, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I felt as he was walking. And then turned out like he was a rapper, and he wanted, I don't even know how he knew me, but he wanted to work with me, and we made a couple songs. I made him a couple beats, and he recorded them, stuff like that, and it was cool, but once again, the quality wasn't all the way there, but that dude had bars, bro. And we had like a little couple freestyle sessions in our dorm room and stuff like that. I think I still got them somewhere, but I have to find them. But yeah, I wasn't really cool. Like, I was cool with them, but I didn't just hang out with them like that every day. You feel me? So I didn't really know where they came from or whatever back then. So, but anyway, the next year I ended up getting my own house, and I still had my microphone and stuff. But the rapper guy wasn't really doing anything at that time, and then the singer guy was moved to Vegas and trying to work on his stuff, but he ended up getting messed over in Vegas because he thought he was going to drop some songs, and the dude really didn't let him drop anything. So he was out there for no reason. Like, he wasted a lot of time wasted. All right, now I'm not going to say I wasted time at this point because I'm still learning how to mix down stuff. I'm still learning the music game and all that. So at this point, I'm not really wasting time. I'm just learning, right? So couple years, another year goes by. I met this girl. She plays guitar really well. Started working with her, and she recorded and wrote her songs and recorded at my house. And those songs were really amazing, but she wasn't serious. I don't know what was going on with that. Like, she had a voice, she had the image, she can sing and play guitar at the same time, but she just didn't want to do nothing. So that ended up falling through, So right now I had the singer, didn't really work out. Had the rapper, we did something, but it just didn't work out all the way. Then I found another singer. She recorded some songs, but she didn't really want to do anything with them. So that was like a fall through. Then the next year after that, mind you, like, with this whole music stuff, man, I'm thinking I'm finna blow up at any moment. So I'm not really paying attention to school and college like that. You know what I'm saying? So by this time, I move into this house. Like, I'm still in that house that I moved into, but my roommates that I had originally went to college with were kind of my best friends, in high school. They ended up like not finishing and just getting a job somewhere and just like leaving the house, right? So this other guy that rapped with us in the church camp, like, we were, church camp counselors, were staff at this church camp, but then we found out that, he liked to rap, and I know how to record, and I knew how to make beats. So he was like, yeah, bro, we need to link up and make some music. I met him through the church camp. So like 2 or 3 years later, he needed a place to stay. He got evicted, and he seen me at McDonald's one time. He was like, yo, Drew, I need a place to stay, bro. And at this time, I could have sworn he already told me he needed a place to stay. And he swears that he didn't tell me he needed a place to stay at that time. And I don't know, it just worked out like that. And he became my roommate. And at this time, I had upgraded to a desktop computer and learned how to, I showed him how to make beats and use the studio, like, how the best to my knowledge. And so he starts making beats, and we start making a name for ourselves. And he wanted to name, he had his own name for his stuff, Funky Town, So I was like, that's cool, whatever, we can do that. I already had my name, Fire Beats. My name was Fire Beats before that Fire Beats dude overseas. I know I had my name before him. He just probably had the promotional tools and all the resources to get his name out there. But I know I had my name, the way it's spelled and everything, before him. But anyway, so I was like, yeah, we can work under that, and we got our names out there, but he wasn't promoting me like he was promoting himself. He was just promoting himself, saying he had a team and everything. At this time, I'm putting together my own album, my own rap album, because I want to put my stuff out as well as work with other people. But he wasn't even promoting me. He wasn't even saying that I knew how to make beats, or that I taught him everything that he knows. You know what I'm saying? And he was another alpha male type deal. Like, he wanted stuff done his way, my way, or no way. And it was crazy. Like, Then he started inviting all these people to the house. They was recording. He was probably making money off of it, and I didn't know. Then I found this other rapper guy. He's no longer with us, rest in peace. But he was trying to charge him. I'm like, bro, you ain't finna charge my homie. That's my homie, bro. Like, I'll charge anybody else. I ain't charging my dog, bro. Like, that's crazy. And he tried to interrupt our session and try to sell him a beat and all that. I'm like, bro, you wrong for that, man. Like, you go do that with somebody else. But anyway, he ended up making a beat for him and stuff. I don't know. It's just a long story, man. But where was I, man? I'm sorry, I got kind of sidetracked. So I'm trying to. There's a lot of stuff going on. So at this time, we had photographers, graphic design. What else? We had CD press shops. Well, we had our own little CD burner, like with 12 burners, and we could press the CD with our own stamps. What else? Singers and everything. We had a whole dynasty right there where we were. You understand? And one of the hottest recording spots in the city. And I don't know why we didn't do nothing with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just don't come together. People ain't on the right page. You know, you just can't go nowhere when people ain't communicating right. Or people feel like they're better than other people. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to tell you nothing. Because I remember, like, you know, I don't really, when I'm at the house, bro, I don't dress up. You know what I'm saying? I was never the type to go get a Gucci belt or Gucci shoes or Gucci shirt. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wear basketball shorts and a t-shirt if I'm working. You feel me? Then if I go out, I might put some pants on and a collared shirt. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be dressed up in Gucci stuff at the house, man. Come on, bro. So it was like, I guess they didn't want to hang out with me because of that. I don't know, man. That shit crazy. But they never really just hung out with me like talking about. They just wanted to work with music with me, work on music with me, you know. And so that ended up falling through. Like that whole Funky Town thing just ended up going south. You know what I'm saying? The dude was just. He made the dude that the church camp dude. He ended up making 2 mixtapes, right? The first one he promoted. The second one was going hard, but for some reason, he was just like, you know what? I'm not rapping no more. I'm not doing none of this no more. So all that time that we were spending on those songs and work is just time wasted. Like 2 or 3 years, time wasted, because he just wanted to do all that stuff and then not promote it. Like, we had our song Party played in the club like once or twice, and that was it. All that stuff that we did is wasted time. I have all that stuff on my hard drive, wasted space, wasted time, if you're not going to do nothing with it. You understand? So I got mad about that. He just up and left, you know what I'm saying? So, but his cousin came in the mix like right before he left, and he was a singer, and I ain't never heard a singer like that sing like that. You feel me? Like one of the best singers I've heard personally and up close. You know, that I've actually met. You feel me? Even people that are on the radio. Like, I was like, dang, bro, this dude cold, man. So I'm like, all right, we can link up, and we move into another house with my girlfriend, and it was me, my girlfriend, and that dude. And, you know, they made the rent cheaper, was cool. And we had our little inside studio. So I'm like, yeah, we can work on some stuff, man. Like, let's get it, you know? And then one time he went to a church to perform. They asked him to perform. And as he was performing, this girl seen him in the audience, and the girl approached him. And she was like, she was feeling his singing. Like, she was like, hey, you sing really well. I like the way I sing. I like the way you sing. And she was like, I sing as well, you know. So he got her information or whatever and went home. So I think that same church program, this other lady seen him and was like, hey, we should put together a group. You know, I'll go ahead and say the group. No, I'm not going to say the group. We're going to put together a group a group of people, you know what I'm saying, like a music group together, and let's make it work. Let's make something happen. So as we did that, the singer guy came back to the house with her and the other girl, the singer girl, and they were like, "Hey, Drew, you need to make beats for us. You can be a rapper, producer, songwriter." Everybody was a songwriter, singer, songwriter, and whatever. You know, we had me, another guy that was a rapper, producer, a songwriter, and three other singers. It was two singers and a female vocalist, right? So we're going, and I'm sorry, I'm losing focus, but I'm trying to get through with this. But we're going, we're recording, we make a whole album. Long story short, the lady that put the whole thing together ended up reneging on everything. Was like, you know what, this project is over with. I don't know what happened, why she felt like that, but it was wrong for her to do that, because once again, that's time wasted for me, you know what I'm saying, like for everybody really. Like we put our all into that, really, you know what I'm saying. And it was just time that we had to drive an hour to write, we had to make press dates, you feel me, we had to do all kind of stuff, interviews and stuff like that, shows. We did shows, even people coming up to us asking when we were going to perform again. And she just threw all of that out the window for whatever reason, I don't know. And that pissed me off. So basically, all I'm saying is I'm starting from ground zero. You feel what I'm saying? I'm starting all over again. Oh, back then we had MySpace. I wanted to tell y'all about MySpace. I had 25,000 fans, real people on MySpace waiting for my album to drop. And as soon as I dropped my first album, MySpace went to crap. Like, they were like, everybody get off MySpace. Everybody get off MySpace. I think it was a government move, because a lot of people were making money directly off their MySpace page, and they didn't have to go through a middleman at all. Like, I had a PayPal account, and that's all I needed. Somebody would place an order. I'd put my CD together and ship it off. I don't know, man. And Tila Tequila got famous off MySpace. And it's like, I thought I was going to be next. Like, but I don't know what happened, man. MySpace went down. I didn't know where to go. Like, I had a Facebook before it was public, and even before I went to high schools. Like, I had Facebook. I didn't know how to work it, really. I didn't know anything about marketing. I was just knowing that I was getting a lot of people added to my stuff on MySpace. I mean, obviously, you have to promote your stuff to a lot of people if you want to get known and stuff, but I didn't really know how to keep up with people, you know what I'm saying? So I think I made a Twitter, but I didn't really promote it, and I didn't move all my MySpace people to my Twitter and tell them to follow me on Twitter. I did get a couple people, like maybe 2,000 of those 25,000, but I didn't get everybody, you feel me? And Reverb Nation, it was Reverb Nation, Facebook, and Twitter. And I didn't make any of those, because I was like, man, this is stupid. This is stupid. That's stupid. Like, MySpace, why are y'all getting rid of MySpace? You know what I'm saying? So I was mad about the whole situation. I'm still salty about it. And my friend, she's always like, man, you still bringing that up? I'm like, yeah, bro, because that was the most people I was connected to in my whole life. You know what I'm saying? It's just gone now. And it's like, I have to start over. And then it's hard starting over when you're old and you don't understand this new trend, this trap music and this dancing music and this dance rap stuff, man. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just hard starting over. You just feel like your time is up, But so I was just, telling y'all all that. If y'all can just go ahead and subscribe to my channel, let's get up to 1,000. That's really my life story, you feel me? So now I'm just stuck here trying to build my brand back up, man. Fire Beats. If y'all can go to Fire Beats, PHYREBEATZ, find that on YouTube and Facebook, and subscribe to my channel, like my page, and subscribe to this channel, Poker Maniac TFP, man. So I'll update you with some more information, stuff like that. So I appreciate y'all. And I hope y'all have a good night, good day, wherever y'all at. And y'all enjoy these wins, man, because I've been crushing it on this poker tournament. I mean, this poker apps. So y'all subscribe, like, comment. Let's get it, man.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.